Story 1. So we really supposed to ditch contraception after getting married. I'm 18 days out from my wedding, and I thought my Mael had hit peak ridiculousness when she announced at my bridal shower that my fiancé and I should start sleeping in separate rooms because it's tradition. But nope. This woman always finds new ways to outdo herself. Apparently, she pulled her son aside yesterday and in the most serious tone, told him now that the wedding is so close, you two should stop using contraception. Excuse me. What? Why is she even thinking about our sex life? I don't know what's worse, the fact that she thinks she has a say in this or the fact that she genuinely believes we're supposed to stop using contraception after the wedding. Her son stared at her and asked, "Mom, what the hell are you talking about?" She then rambled on how Catholic couples shouldn't interfere with God's plan and birth control is against our faith. We are not practicing Catholics. She knows this. We're not even having a Catholic wedding. She herself only has 3 kids. So unless she naturally ovulated like clockwork for 30 years straight, I'm guessing some interference happened at some point. She had no problem with my SIL, her daughter, and BIL and his wife using contraception. But with us, she's got religious morals? I honestly don't even know what to say at this point. Comment 1. I agree with everyone here singing your praises for handling the situation so well, and want to add my appreciation for you and wife watching your children in the pool. It should be obvious to all that children should not be unattended while swimming, but I've been to too many gatherings where I end up pool sitting because no one else will. So dangerous. Yeah, me and wife are terrified of pool mishaps. It only takes once and it only takes a couple of seconds, then boom, lifelong tragedy. Comment 2. Your kids don't need that in their life. I was 13 when my grandma wrote me a 3-page handwritten letter that she titled, "Dear Miss Hotshot," that just absolutely tore me to shreds over a perceived slight. High-key sounds like something your mother would do if one of your kids did something she didn't like, especially since she feels owed something. I'm 35 now and still don't speak to her. My dad recently told me that she probably doesn't even remember the incident. She's late 80s now and spotty memory, and I said, cool, but I do. Comment 3. You are an exceptional husband. You did exactly what a husband is supposed to do. You're a good man. Kudos to you, pal. Comment 4. You have a nice shiny spine that a lot of husbands on this sub could only dream of. Good on you for standing up for your wife without question or hesitation. Comment 5. Contraception? Your son, and I only do anal. Want to guess who the top is? That might shut her up. Comment 6. Protect your birth control or she may mess with it. Comment 7. I think you should double down and get really personal with her. Ask her about how she conceived and they only got 3 kids after decades with no contraception. Are there specific positions that are better for conception? How does FI like it? And when she gets flustered, tell her how ridiculous it sounds when she says it to you. Story 2. It's been 10 years and he have finally broke me. She has never had any boundaries and she does not accept the word no. She will still drop in when we tell her not to. I was in the hospital in isolation and we told her she genuinely was not allowed to come. She came anyways. The first year of COVID, we told her we weren't coming. She spent the entire day calling nonstop. Why don't you come for an hour? How about just dinner? She was asking us to come for a visit at 8 p.m. still, when we lived an hour away. She needs to get her way no matter what. This is the main problem in our relationship. DH always defaults to, I hate his whole family, but I don't. I just need her to accept the word no. I would love to get into some more examples, but that's not the main problem right now. DH, myself, and his brother all live in the same city. This is prime for Emile, because anytime she visits one of us, she turns it into a full everybody visit. Let's all go to dinner sort of thing. Or if she visits the brother, she will do a surprise drop-in for us as well. She'll text that she is doing something with the brother the next day and ask if we need anything. No, we don't. Thank you though. The next day, she comes by with something. One time she came by with one Danish, I am not exaggerating. I have suggested that DH and her go out on some mother/son dates or literally anything like that, but he won't, and she doesn't like that either. She needs us all there. DH's brother has started seeing a girlfriend in the fall. They are currently looking to buy a house within the same city and specifically with a basement apartment to rent out to someone. That someone means DH and I. We have our own place, we like our own place, and we like the area of the city we are in. Everything is within walking distance, including my workplace. MIL does not approve of my job. The girlfriend is not putting her name on the house, just the brother, and ML and FIL are co-signing. She is getting to be like a used car salesman. She slips it into conversation whenever she can. Laundry comes up? Well, if you two choose to move in, this place we looked at today is laundry. Somehow, her and the new girlfriend get along really well. And I can't lie. When I am with MIL, she's totally nice enough, but she is pushy with zero boundaries. I guess the new girlfriend hasn't been around long enough to figure this one out. DH is very open to this idea of living together, even though he openly says him and his brother are not close. We have only met the girlfriend twice, both just for dinners after they did house viewings. Beyond just a nice, simple I don't want to, here are some other reasons that I do not want to do this living situation. I don't want to live with a couple who haven't even been together for a year. I don't know this woman, the girlfriend. I've spent 2 hours max with her eating a meal with a group of people. This isn't to say I don't like her, but I don't want or need to move in with a stranger. She has a dog, and I don't want it to turn into a will you take the dog for a walk / let him out / do this, etc. sort of situation. DH and I are cat people. I also don't want to live underneath a dog and hear that constantly. We had a kitty who died, and have just been discussing getting a new one after a few years, now that we finally have enough money. That's not going to happen now. We are not involved in this situation at all. Our name's not on the place. It is owned entirely by the brother, and MIL will do drop-ins all the time. She is not above, hello, I'm in your building, someone let me in, hiki. It'll be even worse in a house. DH and I have lived alone for 5+ years now. I don't want to regress to roommates while we are all in our mid-30s and higher. Not one person is bothered to ask my opinion on this or what I want. This just became a situation, and ML has decided that we are going to be the people who rent out in the basement. I could keep going. No means no. I have always told DH that he's made it clear that ML is the main woman in his life, that I know I come second. He always denies this, but refuses to actually show or prove it. It's getting worse as we age, especially with this wild-ass situation. He has defended this situation in many ways, saying that she just wants to help. It'll lower our cost of living. But so what? It might lower our cost of living, but it will also lower my comfort, privacy, and more. I don't have a good relationship with my own mother, which MIL unfortunately knows, and so I have my mother at one end and ML at the other end of the spectrum, one completely uncaring and hateful, the other one overbearing with zero boundaries. He has also started, at least what I feel, is guilting out of me. I make him feel like he can't have a relationship with his mother. He's cut back on how often we see her, even though we see her way more often lately because of this situation. He even untruthfully offered to cut all contact because of how much she upsets me. I told him that's not what I want. I just need her to accept when we say no. I keep telling him that I don't want him to cut contact. I don't hate his family, but that I do not want this living situation. Neither one of us asked for this. He will come back with a fine. I'll tell her no. Don't you think I can tell my mother no? Yesterday, he proved to me that no, he cannot tell his mother no. We saw her yesterday, and she surprised me. Anyways, I've lost trust in DH at this point, and I don't know if he knew about this. Us by telling us that BIL/GF put in an offer on a house, and they were waiting to hear from the real estate agent. They unfortunately/fortunately for me lost the offer. This tells me that if they get their house, it'll come as a surprise. We got a house with a basement apartment. Time to move. DH is having 2 fully different conversations with his mother and I. The one time he even attempted to stand up to her was saying that wherever we move, we need to make sure I can still get to work. ML immediately threw out no worries. They'll just look for houses around bus stops/schedules and try to figure out the buses around our city. DH mentioned that he was hoping to find me a job in the same location as his office because he's in a big plaza. I'm sitting there with my mouth hanging open, and his parents love the idea. Discussing my career change? How dare he slash them? ML called up the real estate agent at one point and started discussing the situation. Mortgages, taxes, rent, line of credits were all discussed and DH was totally locked in. He said rent would be no problem. I couldn't even get a word in otherwise, and nobody seems to give a shit anyways. I can't even be angry about all of this. I'm devastated. He has completely let me down. It's been 10 years and I feel like he has totally betrayed me here. I don't really see any way around this other than ending it at this point, because I know he will not say no to her. He's moving in with his brother and his brother's girlfriend. We spent the entire car ride home dead silent and did not speak a word the rest of the night. I know that's not healthy, but I also thought it might be better to get my bearings and my thoughts together first. I don't want to hear his bullshit. You hate my family. Line. None of this has to do with hating his family. It is being forced into a living situation that I did not ask for and that I do not want. I don't think that's so unreasonable or hateful of me. I am so upset I don't even know where to start when and if we talk about this. Give him the list of reasons that I don't want to move? Ask him why he's telling his mother and I two completely different things? Why is he trying to replan my career with his parents without even asking me about it? I think that I need to leave his family out of it, so that he can't attack me for hating his family, but at the same time, his family is so wrapped up in this, I can't quite do that entirely. It might be over-dramatic of me, but I've been trying to consider my options if we do break up. I could, unfortunately, move back in with my parents, but like I said, I don't have the greatest relationship with my mother. But she does know what's going on here, and she has said that they'll support me. Ideally, I would love for DH to just tell his MIL that this is not happening. We are not moving, like he's been telling me he will tell her, but I think we are well past that now. I feel so much worse about this situation after yesterday. Again, I don't know if this is overdramatic of me, but I don't entirely trust him after this either. Did he know BIL and his GF put an offer in? Did he know this would be brought up? I was so pleasantly surprised that she hadn't brought it up for most of the visit. And then once we said we were going to go home, it all started. And all this time, he's been telling me he will tell her no, that he's changed and he can stand up to his mother now. But all he showed me yesterday was that no, he can't change, and no, he cannot stand up to his mother. I also have no idea what he truly wants, because he has been telling me all this time that he will tell his mother no, but then the second it came up he was all in. If he truly does not want this, he needs to tell her, because he's just making it worse with time and every conversation where he's agreeing to this. If he does want this, he needs to tell me so that we can end things and get moving along with our lives. It sounds harsh, but it seems true to me. I am heartbroken to say we might be ending things, but I can't stay in this relationship if this happens. I am sorry this ended up longer than I thought it would, but I truly appreciate any help, suggestions, or just TLC. I want to make sure I mention to him that nobody asked my opinion. Nobody even has asked if we want to move. It's just happening. I am beyond shocked that he's just having these conversations with his parents as though we are on board with it. But if he is, he needs to properly communicate that to me and tell me that yes, he is on board with it. At the same time, even if he isn't on board with it, I wouldn't be entirely surprised, and he's just going along with it because he doesn't know how to say no to her. Edit. Wow. I am so overwhelmed but thankful for all of the support and comments here, telling me that I'm not insane, that considering ending things over this is not too over the top, that he really is choosing her over me. All of this time I have been so confused, especially being accused of hating his entire family just because of the issues with his mother. I am not even angry with him anymore. I am just absolutely heartbroken. Thank you everybody for these comments and support. I really truly appreciate it all. Comment 1. If she can't take feedback without feeling personally attacked, then she isn't someone you can trust to be alone with your child. She doesn't respect either of you as parents. This is actually so true and puts it into perspective. Thank you. Comment 2. Okay. Thanks for letting us know where you stand. We will see you in 6 months to reevaluate your ability to listen. Comment 3. I'm the grandma and I will touch her on the face. Response. I'm the parent and you won't see her until you comply 100%. Comment 4. I am reminded of a TV commercial for a shingles vaccine that I see very often. It has various older people saying things like, I go to the gym every day, and other statements about a healthy lifestyle. And the repeated tagline is, shingles doesn't care. But I'm the grandma. Germs don't care. Comment 5. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Personally, I would be inclined to sit down with my partner and tell him that if he is planning on leaving me, he owes me the courtesy of telling me that. I'd anticipate a wait, what, response. That would be followed by me explaining that I have repeatedly indicated that I would not be moving into a shared house or apartment. Since he is clearly moving ahead with plans to live with his family, I can only assume that he is planning on leaving the relationship. I would also indicate that I will not tolerate any interference with my employment from him or his mother. It sounds like your partner and his family are expecting you to just roll over and let them rearrange your life for their own convenience. They can only do that if you let them. And if you let them do this now, you are basically surrendering any possibility that you'll be able to maintain boundaries or have any input in future decisions. Comment 6. Your husband does not support you at all, and unfortunately his mother does come first for him. If you give in and go along with this move, you will be miserable. She is going to insert herself even more because your husband lets her make all of his decisions and he doesn't stand up for you. Imagine having kids with him. Your ML will be the third parent, and all decisions will have to be approved or go through her where your husband is concerned. I would seriously rethink this relationship. Comment 7. Wow, DH and his family are off the charts, overbearing and smothering. I'd lose my goddamn mind if my husband acted this way. I'm not a mannequin for him and his family to dress and pose. I'm not convinced counseling is the right answer, but I think a trial separation might be if you have a friend you could couch surf with for a week. Pack your things and inform DH wherever this relationship goes. It will not be to a shared address with his smother and smother brother. This man needs a wake-up call. He's sleepwalking right out of his marriage back to living like a kid with mommy, daddy, and brother. Agree with those who warn about sunk cost fallacy. Don't fall for it. You deserve so much better. Comment 8. WTF? Find other living arrangements for yourself if he moves in with his brother. Nobody gets to decide that you'll switch jobs/careers or completely change your routine, except you. If none of them will drop it, drop them. Story 3. Mom died. MIL is non-existent. My mom died suddenly a week ago. As soon as I got the call from my dad that she was non-responsive and to come to the hospital, I went. I called my MIL on the way because I had dropped my husband with the kids and needed a distraction to not panic as I drove 35 minutes. Later that night, when my husband was able to get the kids situated, she came and watched them while we were both at the hospital. One intense week later, my mom actually died. My husband was in charge of notifying his family and giving them updates. We've been married for 10 years and grew up as neighbors. So my ML has been neighbors with my mom for 25 years and related through marriage for 10. They know each other well, not necessarily friends per se, but friendly, would hang out at neighborhood parties, exchange Christmas cards, occasionally share a holiday together with us. My ML didn't reach out to me once during the entire week we were in the hospital, except in a group chat to ask about Easter, which I shut down fast and hard. Then, we all went to my son's baseball game the night my mom died, including my devastated dad. She didn't say anything to me for the first 25 minutes of the game and said nothing until the end to my dad. She just stared at him for the 90-minute game. Now it's been a week. Still radio silence. My dad asked me today, through tears, if he had done something to upset my MIL. I was furious before, and now I'm about to explode. Am I crazy to think that she should have said or done something? My husband says that she checked in with him, but I still think it's weird that she has said nothing to me or my dad directly. Comment 1. Oh, I stopped this shit immediately when it happened. Nana, we don't talk bad about mom and dad, as I take the kid, and we don't keep secrets in our family. If you can't do that, then we don't need to spend time with you. Seriously, don't be afraid to stop it as soon as it comes up. If you let it go, it will only get worse. How would you respond if they say it was just a joke or some variant? Comment 2. You need to cut her off and put your boundaries down/call her out, or it'll just get worse. Tell her, We don't keep secrets from mom, and do not talk negatively about me to my child if you still want to have contact with us. Comment 3. When she says that, take the baby and say, "Oh, is grandma being downright rude right now? Oh, yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she should know that that's no way to behave if she wants to maintain a relationship with her grandchild and his mama. Yes, my sweet cutie pie. That ought to shut her up." Comment 4. The secrets thing unsettles me mightily. Adults telling children to keep secrets from their parents is not a safe behavior. Comment 5. This is hard because grief is a many-headed beast. When my dad died suddenly, a lot of his peers and lifelong friends had strange reactions. He died in his mid-50s, and I think it was a big old reminder of their mortality. It sounds like your MIL could be using avoidance to get the feelings of wow that could easily be me. I'm very sorry this is happening. Death is a ripple effect, and it truly sucks. You don't just lose the person, you lose all the little pieces of them they've put out in the world. I think, when you're ready, let your MIL know you could really use the emotional support. I pray she's receptive. Comment 6. I was going to say, the fact that she has known your mother for so long might mean she is grieving as well. Possibly she was also upset and didn't feel like she was able to lend support on the very night she passed while out at a game for your son, without breaking down herself. I might have also said grief is tough and everyone handles it differently. However, I changed my mind when you mentioned the group chat about Easter. I assume you mean, instead of asking how you or your family were, she was making plans? If so, I would be livid as well. In addition, you mentioned, a week later and still nothing. I can't defend either. Both are egregious enough to negate my first thoughts and whatever benefit of the doubt I was leaning towards. So very sorry for both your father and you, not to mention your child. Also sorry your in-laws didn't come through for any of you. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.